is going on, guys? Kansas City Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes has quickly established himself as the best player in the NFL. After leading the Chiefs to a Super Bowl 54 title, he was awarded with an unprecedented 10-year deal worth $503 million. It's the richest deal for any athlete ever. With all of that money, Mahomes now has limitless ways of living the high life. Fancy cars, luxurious homes, rare memorabilia. He can literally have it all. Here are 12 of the absolute craziest things that Mahomes can afford to buy with his new $503 million mega deal. But first, a couple of honorable mentions. Over 400 million bottles of ketchup. Mahomes is known for his love of Hunt's ketchup. The Super Bowl 54 MVP and champion has confessed that he puts it on his mac and cheese as well as steaks. Wow, that's gross. Mahomes predictably signed an endorsement deal with Hunt's, and during the 2018 season, Heinz offered Mahomes a free lifetime supply of ketchup if he could throw 57 touchdown passes. He fell 7 short, but that's okay because Mahomes can now afford all the ketchup he wants. On Walmart.com, you can buy a bottle of Hunt's ketchup for $118. That means if he so desires, Mahomes can buy well over 400 million bottles of ketchup. And knowing him, well, he'd probably use every last drop, or it would expire, because that's what realistically would happen. More than 100 million Big Macs. Alright, now I'm not sure if Mahomes eats a lot of McDonald's. Being a high-level athlete, you don't want to have that stuff. But if he ever wanted to indulge, he could actually buy over 120 million Big Macs with that $503 million contract. The US population was reported to be 328.2 million in 2019. So if he didn't want to eat all those Big Macs himself, Mahomes could just buy a Big Mac for nearly 1/3 of the American population. 1/3 of the American population. Yeah. Now to the real list. Number 12, stadium naming rights. Patrick Mahomes Stadium, Patrick Mahomes Center, Patrick Mahomes Arena, Patrick Mahomes Ballpark. The possibilities are really endless. If Mahomes wants to put his name and brand somewhere big, then he should think about purchasing the naming rights for a sports stadium or arena. I mean, these things don't come cheap, of course, but now he can afford it. These deals tend to run for over 2 decades, and the cost can range from $200 million to well over $600 million. The deal for Scotiabank Arena in Toronto cost $639 million US, running from 2017 to 2038. May as well put your name on a stadium and throw $200 million plus at it, right, Pat? Number 11, lots and lots of Hollywood memorabilia. If Mahomes is a big movie guy and Hollywood collector, he can now buy practically any item he wants. The sky's the limit. In November 2017, a Robbie the Robot prop used for Forbidden Planet sold for $5.3 million. Mahomes can purchase that for what's essentially pocket change. That's if he so wishes. A dress worn by Marilyn Monroe in The 7-Year Itch sold for $5.6 million in 2011. Surely Mahomes can buy that and turn it into a big-time profit down the road. A pair of the ruby slippers worn by Judy Garland in The Wizard of Oz is worth several $million if Mahomes is interested. Again, the possibilities are endless. He could build up giant rooms for memorabilia of iconic franchises like Star Wars, The Lord of the Rings, James Bond, and of course the best of all, the MCU. God, I love Marvel. Hold on, I'm gonna try something. Ow! Oh, God. Okay, alright, I'm not worthy. Ow. Or he could basically build his own museum of Hollywood memorabilia that he can now afford. I guess it all comes down to how much of a Hollywood guy Mahomes really is. I'm a huge Hollywood guy, so I think he should do it. Number 10, more than 200 bottles of rare Scotch whiskey. The vast majority of Scotch drinkers can only dream of tasting something as luxurious as Macallan 1926. In October 2019, a 60-year-old bottle of Macallan 1926 sold at auction for a record price of $1.9 million. The whiskey was distilled in 1926, and it's the dream item for any Scotch or whiskey connoisseur. I have no idea if I pronounced that word right. We're not sure if Mahomes is much of a drinker, and if he even likes whiskey. But why not spend that $500 million on over 200 bottles of rare Scotch whiskey? Who needs a house? Who needs to pay for their kids? Who needs a car? Who needs really anything but Scotch whiskey? Am I right, guys? I'm really not even sure if there are even 200 bottles of Macallan 1926 in existence. But Mahomes can at least look to buy a few of them, or one. He can then stack up the bar in his luxurious home with other luxurious bottles of whiskey. Or, he could promise to treat his Kansas City teammates, coaches, and other staffers to some $1 million whiskey if they win him another Super Bowl. That seems like a pretty good reason to drink it. If Mahomes is feeling generous and wanting to share a large portion of that $500 million, why not spread the love by sharing some extremely rare top-end whiskey? That's what I'm talking about. Number 9, private islands around the world. It's a dream for pretty much all of us to own a private island somewhere on this floating rock in space. I mean, imagine living on a beach 24/7 with water and trees all around you, giving you complete privacy and no stress whatsoever. Well, Mahomes has a chance to fulfill that dream in various locations around the world now. There are countless private luxurious islands for sale. Rangai Island, I think that's how you pronounce it, just outside of, I think this is pronounced Phuket or Phuket or Phuket, whatever, it's in Thailand, is available for $160 million. This 110-acre property includes fresh water and electricity. It's also very close to the Phuket International Airport. That's a dream place that Mahomes has to look at. Does he want a vacation home in his own country? Well, Pumpkin Key, located in the Florida Keys, is available for the shiny price tag of $95 million. Again, those are only a couple of the many options. But if you really wanted to, Mahomes could buy 3 or 4 private islands worldwide. In looking at many available listings on privateislandsonline.com, because that's what I do all the time, is look at that website and dream of getting out of this basement. Mahomes could theoretically own private islands in Florida, Thailand, the Caribbean, and Greece if he wanted to. The possibilities would be endless, and he could even set up his own off-season training sessions on the island. Number 8, a trip to the stratosphere. Going into space isn't a reality for most of us. I mean, at least not yet. But you can still enjoy an adventure that some would describe as being, out of this world. Haha, pun intended. I hate myself. On trulyexperiences.com, you can purchase a Near Space Odyssey private group space travel with balloon package. I have no idea what balloon is, but sounds fun. Buyers will get their own private experience into the upper atmosphere. Each trip can take 4 people. The balloon adventures can go anywhere in the world, and they last up to 12 hours. Each trip will cost around $426,000 US. So Mahomes can pretty much afford trips to the stratosphere for the rest of his life. When he's retired from football, he could even try doing one a day if he wanted. Or he could buy a bunch for his friends and family members. Number 7, several luxurious cars. Almost every athlete drives luxurious, fancy vehicles, but Mahomes can now afford to stack up his garage with several of the world's priciest cars. This includes the Bugatti LA Voiture Noir, which is valued at around $19 million. Or how about a $13 million Rolls-Royce Sweptail? Or even a James Bond Aston Martin that sold for $6.4 million at auction. Or, if he really wants to get crazy, he can try to get his hands on a 1963 Ferrari 250 GTO. Only 36 of these cars were made, like ever. And the owners gain automatic entrance into a secret invitation-only club, which meets up for high-class events at luxurious locations around the world. What? That's real? I want to get in that club. That seems like so much fun. Someone invite me. Be my friend. Come on. Just for like a day. I just want to see what it's like. I mean, with perks like that, it should surprise no one that the car has been valued at $70 million, based on a recent selling price. That's not too much money for Mahomes, though. He can actually afford a few of those beauties, and you only need one to get in the club. Number 6, John Hancock Center. One of the tallest buildings in the world. The John Hancock Center is located on North Michigan Avenue in Chicago. This 100-story building was completed in 1969 at a cost of around $700 million in today's dollars. The architectural height is 1,128 feet, and it includes 50 lifts or elevators. Just about any professional athlete could afford to buy a room here. But if you're Patrick Mahomes, why not buy the whole building? In 2013, the building sold for an estimated price of $256 million, while Mahomes is making almost double that on his new contract. And of course, the Chicago Bears and their fans aren't getting over the fact that they drafted Mitch Trubisky over both Mahomes and Deshaun Watson in 2017. I mean, Mahomes doesn't really seem petty, but what if he had a little fun by purchasing the building to forever remind the Bears of their epic mistake? Number 5, choice of 12 NHL teams. NHL franchises aren't as valuable as NFL, NBA, and MLB franchises. Unfortunately for Mahomes, he would have to have a $1 billion contract to afford to buy most of the major North American sports franchises. The good news, however, is that he could afford to buy 12 different NHL teams. The Calgary Flames, Anaheim Ducks, Colorado Avalanche, Tampa Bay Lightning, Nashville Predators, Carolina Hurricanes, Ottawa Senators, Winnipeg Jets, Buffalo Sabres, Columbus Blue Jackets, Florida Panthers, or the Arizona Coyotes in their 21st annual NHL valuations. Forbes listed all 12 of those clubs at $500 million or under. The Flames were the most expensive at $500 million, followed by the Ducks at $480 million. Mahomes could theoretically purchase the Sabres for $400 million, the Blue Jackets for $325 million, the Panthers for $310 million, or the Coyotes for $300 million, and still have a nice chunk of change remaining. Imagine owning an NHL franchise while also being the best quarterback in the NFL. It could also end up being a great investment for the Super Bowl MVP. Just look at what Michael Jordan did. The GOAT of basketball bought the Charlotte Hornets for $180 million in 2010. In 2020, they were valued at $1.5 billion. It's never too early to enter the sports ownership world, Pat. You could have $1 billion. Number 4, Salvator Mundi, painting by Leonardo da Vinci. They say that there are only about 15 known works of Leonardo da Vinci. This includes the Salvator Mundi, that's dated the year 1500. In 2017, the painting sold for $450 million at auction. Now Mahomes would have to pay more than that to acquire it, obviously. What if he dropped all $503 million on the painting? And keep it for 10 or 20 years, and he can surely sell it for a profit of more than $100 million down the road, right? Yeah, that makes total sense. Definitely do that, Pat. Yeah. Number 3, Airbus A340 private jet. Mahomes can now afford just about any private jet model in the world. If he wants to aim for the stars here, why not look at one of the top of the very top models? The Airbus A340 private jet is as dreamy as they come. It seats 90 and cost around $230 million. A Russian billionaire reportedly purchased one of his own for $400 million. Here's an idea. How about buying a $160 million private island and a $230 million private jet to take you there? Not a bad deal. Number 2, Sky Penthouse at Odeon Tower. The Sky Penthouse is the mother of all dream penthouses. It's located inside this tower in St. Roman, Monaco. The building is 49 stories. The Sky Penthouse is 31,500 square feet and covers 5 floors. Is that good enough for you? It has its own water slide that will carry you from the dance floor right to the swimming pool. It comes with 5 main bedrooms and 3 staff bedrooms. The value of the Sky Penthouse? $387 million has been frequently mentioned, but some believe it could fetch over $400 million. But that being said, it's well within Mahomes' budget if he wants to live here during the offseason or when he retires. And hey, with all the endorsement money he's making, he can always buy this place and still live comfortably for the rest of his life. Number 1, the most expensive home in America. Like actually. Niall Niami, a movie producer who also works as a mansion developer, calls this the one, because it is quite literally the one. It's a 100,000 square foot home located in Bel Air, and Niall is prepared to seek $500 million for it. The super mansion doesn't only offer the beautiful California sunshine, but also its very own nightclub and bowling alley. If Niall gets $500 million for this, it'll easily become the most expensive home ever purchased in the United States. And Mahomes now has the resources to buy the mother of all dream houses. Football in Kansas City from July to January or February. Then spend the rest of the year in the one. Seems like a dream that's too good to be true. Only Mahomes can legitimately afford it if he wants it. That being said, we didn't really put into play taxes and food and maintenance to the house and taxes, a bunch of other things. But this is just a fun list, and you know what? You get the idea. He's probably got other money in other places. He's probably investing. He's building his financial stability. So eventually, in time, he could probably afford like all these things. And some of them right now. That's crazy. And I'm jealous. Very much. But again, money doesn't buy happiness. Love, friends, and family do. And a Bugatti. What other crazy things can Patrick Mahomes buy with $500 million? Join me in the comment section below. Make sure to follow myself and TPS on social media. We post great content all the time. YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. We are on everything. Twitter, go find us. Great memes from TPS. Great videos and tweets from me and Instagrams. Whatever, go follow, go subscribe. Go check us out. Subscribe to TPS on YouTube because we post videos every day. Every day's a new video. And they're all sports related. So if you like sports and you like YouTube videos, then they're the best mixed together. If you like this video, give it a like. It really helps us out. We appreciate it. So click that like button right down below. And of course, thank you so much for watching. I'm Jason Biondo. I'll see you next time.
My knee.